Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA. Online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Saturday, or excuse me, it's Friday. I'm losing track of the days. When you're up in the mountain house and not working, it doesn't matter what day it is, friends. Today's Friday, though. It is March 26, 2021, and it is 11:50 a.m. I just got off the Skype with Suzi Quatro. I was hoping I would get longer. But I only had like 20 minutes, a little over 20 minutes to talk to her. Nobody told me that until the interview started, or else I would have probably turned down the interview. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't. Very nice woman, but she is in promo mode for the new album, which is called The Devil in Me. And I highly recommend the album. It's really good. And there's a lot of good bass parts on this album as well. So anyway, we talk. Like I said, we talked for about 20 minutes and a lot of promotion for the new album. But I tried to get some bass talk in there as well. And a couple of listener questions. I'm losing my voice here. So I'm going to play a song for you. And then I'm going to go right into the Suzi Quatro interview. Thank you for listening, friends. Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com with your thoughts. And, yeah, hope you enjoy the Suzi Quatro interview. I'm a little out of sorts. I was supposed to interview Ginger next today. I was really nervous I was going to have to do back-to-back interviews. I felt like Mitch LaFon or somebody. But Ginger had to postpone till tomorrow. Hopefully that's going to happen tomorrow. So if you're looking for that, hopefully that'll be tomorrow. It's a podcasting weekend up here in the mountains for me, friends. All right, let's play something from 1980 from Suzi Quatro. Great album cover. She's wearing leather and she's playing the red BC Rich Bitch bass. Here's Rock Hard. Then we'll go right into the Suzi Quatro interview. And after it's over, I'll play something from the new album as well. Okay. Hope you enjoy it, friends. Here's Rock Hard.
What you need to
Suzi Quatro, thank you so much for coming on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I love you very much, and you're the coolest, one of the coolest rock and rollers of all time.
Thank you very much.
You got to probably turn down your speakers because it's repeating.
Okay.
You okay? Check. Check.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm right up.
Check.
Yeah. You're okay there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you again for doing this. You came on the show about 15 years ago, and
Jeez.
and I was so ballsy. I did this. I went, and I pulled out my guitar and I asked you to sing along. I went, Michael.
I remember that.
All right. I'm not going to make you do that again today. I just figured.
No, please don't. No. Remember that? Yeah. And that's a good song.
I love that tune. I just got your album yesterday, and I've listened to it about 20 times. I really like it. Here's some of the standouts for me. I love Hey Queenie, really cool bass line on Hey Queenie.
Well, I got to tell you, it's good for you to pick that out, because if I was going to say it myself, I've said all along, Hey Queenie is one of my best bass lines I've ever done. And the reason is, good for you to pick it out, the reason is because I wanted to do a walking bass part to it, but it was to a not normal chord sequence. So it's really difficult to work it out. And they were all getting impatient in the studio. I said, just give me a minute, it will be worth it. And it was worth it.
When you're doing the bass tracks in studio, you're not singing along scratch vocals, are you?
Most of the time, 99% of the time, yes.
Did you sing along? Because some of these songs it seems to be very difficult to sing and play them at the same time because they're doing two completely different rhythms.
Only this one, to tell you the truth. I am able to do different rhythms and sing, no problem. I do it all the time. Done it for 57 years now. But there is the odd one that throws you a real curveball, and this was one of them, only because I put that bass line on it. You know, I had a scratch vocal down, and I was playing along. I said, "Oh God, how am I ever going to do this?" But if I have to do it on stage, I will practice it till I get it.
What's the bass setup like in the studio? What do? You just go direct?
Yes, because I use my precision in the studio, and the precision is the only bass that you can plug directly into the board, and it's perfect.
Yeah. What about live? What do you play? What's your setup live?
I'm using orange at the moment, but actually, I add one thing for the studio. Sometimes, depending on the track, you will add a little bit of amp.
So you'll do a reamp thing, right?
Yeah. And you do the mix of the two, but many times I just go straight in because the Fender is just a perfect bass sound, you know? The
stage setup, orange, what is the orange head? I'm a bass player myself, so a little bit wanted to, yeah.
You know, I'm not very good on the actual amps. I just know they're orange. That's where my technology goes.
Yeah, I hear you. What do you still have?
I played them for a long time. They're good amp. They suit me. I went through various things, you know, because bass is notoriously hard to mic up properly. It just always will be. Then they came up a long time ago with that acoustic amp, which had those reflex speakers that actually threw the bass sound out. So that was a real revolution. And now they've got it pretty much together. The only balance being, usually when you get it exactly how you like it on the stage, okay, the front of house will tell you to change it a little bit. Right. So there's this ongoing, you know, argument. Because what you like on there, they're either a little bit too boomy or a little bit too trebly, whatever suits you. So you have to find a compromise.
Do you still have all those old basses? The first bass you had, was that a Fender 59 Precision, or was that a Tele bass?
No, the first one I got when I was 14. And I just started the band with my sister, and it was decided I would play bass.
Right.
And I went to my dad and said, "Do you have a bass?" He said, "Sure." And he gave me, for my very first bass, a 1957 Fender Precision with a basement amp. It's unheard of that a 14-year-old gets this for her first.
Right. That has the Tele type headstock, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the gold scratch plate with the stripe up the back of the neck.
Right.
You know, the classic Fender Precision. And I have gone back to that now, only I play the reissue of it.
Do you still have that original bass?
I do, and I use it in the studio.
Uh-huh. Well, that's got to be like that's one for the Smithsonian Institution.
Oh, tell me about it, yeah.
Other standouts on the new album, I like Betty Who because it's got that cool Bo Diddley guitar thing.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It is a bit Bo Diddley, yeah.
And it's got Suzi Quatro, or not Suzi Quatro. Well, it's got Suzi Quatro, but it's also got Cherie Curry on the.
I know. She did such a good job. She sent me her vocal for the second verse, and I wrote back, "Excuse me."
Oh, she did lead vocals on the second verse. So you left her lead vocals on the second verse, right?
Yeah. She did the lead vocals on the second one, and then we joined together on the third one. She did a terrific job on it. She's become good friends ever since we did the documentary.
Yeah, and when you got up and sang with her on that song, when she toured, she did like a club thing in the UK, and you did a surprise appearance, and there's a YouTube video of it. It's really heartwarming. It's kind of like almost brings tears to your eyes when you watch. It does.
And when I got my Shevox Award last January, not last year, the one before this, just before we got all locked down, I asked Cherie to come along in LA and give me the award, which she agreed to do. And she started to cry. Oh, God. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that really touched me. Yeah, she's a good girl.
And when she cries, it makes you cry too. I was watching when Joan Jett got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She thanked you. I'm pretty sure she did, and she started crying when she accepted her. When she got up there, and it was anyway. Also,
whenever you get an award, it really does affect you. I think the one that really affected me, funny enough, is in 2017 when I got awarded an honorary Doctor of Music at Cambridge University in a cap and a gown. Are you kidding me? And I graduated high school. That got to me big time. Yeah.
Yeah. Are your parents still around? I watched a documentary about when it came out, and I think it talked about your parents, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. Are your parents still around?
No, my parents aren't out now. They've been around for a long time. That came out at the end of 2019. Suzi Q. America went nuts on it. They went nuts on it. It was on all the charts, and I did 8 million interviews. It was a big success, the documentary. Everybody in it. I tell you a funny story about that. I went to the first premiere here in London, and you come up for a question and answer at the end, and I really, really wanted to see a big screen with an audience. Uh-huh. I snuck in and stood on the side, hoping no one would see me. A couple people did, and I went, shh,
right.
Watching it with the audience, feeling their reactions, some tears, some laughter, some this and that. And when I saw all the girls coming on, one after the other, talking about me, then I started to cry. It really affected me. The next day, I called Cherie, and I said, I was at my premiere last night, and I just realized something. And she said, what? And I said, well, by me doing what I did, I gave women permission all over the world to be different. And she waited for about 10 seconds, and then she went, and you just got that?
Right.
Said, yes, I did just get it. It's nice because I didn't have an agenda. I didn't know what I was doing. All I was doing was stubbornly being me with no compromise. Not for anybody or anything. It was going to be me. I was either going to make it as me, or I wasn't going to make it at all.
Well, not only should you be I'm going to kiss your ass here. I'm sorry, but not only should you be an inspiration to women. You should, for bass players, even just any bass player. You are such an underrated bass player. I was watching those almost all those. You did like the YouTube videos of playing along to your songs.
Yeah, I did 50 Suzi Quatro bass lines. Yeah,
man, you are really a really, really good bass player.
Well, you know what I am is I'm a real bass player. I'm not a failed guitar player. I'm a bass player.
Yeah. Do you ever give bass clinics other than that YouTube videos?
I'm going to. I think I'm going to start because so many people have reacted to those bass lines. I wouldn't mind starting some kind of masterclass, and sharing my knowledge. It's nice to do that, I mean, I have a certain way of playing. I don't like picks. I like fingers against strings. And I like the bass to be the bass. The bass has a certain place in the whole picture, and it's to It's the engine. I say it all the time. That becomes the engine that drives the car.
There's the guy who does I don't know if you know about the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, but he during these lockdowns he was doing these master classes. He had a bunch of Sticks, Ted Nugent, a bunch of other people. You should the artists make a lot of money doing that. I'd pay to watch that. So
yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I wasn't money motivated when I did that. I just wanted to keep entertaining people, and I hope to lift the mood of the pandemic, which I did. But I am going to look into doing more. So, my money is never my motivation. I'm comfortable to the day I die. I do things because I love to do them.
So and
I like to communicate,
You made that much money playing music, huh?
Well, I've always done good. 57 years of business now, and I'm still here.
Oh, that's great. I recommend all bass players need to watch those Suzi Quatro bass videos on YouTube because you learn really a lot of stuff. For instance, there was one song, you were talking about a song that was really hard to play and sing, and you talked about a part where, because the bass lick was really difficult, and then during the sax solo, you said, drop out, you said, get basic right here and let the guy breathe, let the sax breathe. Stuff like that is really, to me as a bass player, really important kind of stuff to watch.
Yeah. Well, I was weaned on Motown, and Jameson was the actual king of that, He said, he was quoted as saying, it's not what you play, it's what you don't play. And with bass, that's correct. You think you hear a note and you don't. It's all about anticipation. It's all about leaving spaces, letting things breathe, and then coming in and laying it down when you need to.
Do you still have family in Detroit?
I have a brother there and a lot of cousins. Cousins and brother, and two sisters in Texas. And one. Yeah, and one sister in Colorado. Okay. But I have nieces and nephews everywhere, so it's a big family.
Do you did you hear that there's an Alice Cooper has a new album and he name checks you in one of the songs. Have you heard that tune?
Well, I mean he covered my hit, Your Mama Won't Like Me.
That's right.
So
yeah.
But I was supposed to be on that album, and he called me and asked me if I would, and I said yeah, no problem, as a duet. And then I found out I was going to do it, and I said, well, once I've put my bass down and my vocals down, can you send it to me for approval, like every artist would do? Right. And the producer didn't want to do that, and I didn't know why. And finally he said, well, I can't promise it's going to be an equal duet. And I said, okay, well, that kind of changes the invitation. We talked, and Alice and I are very good friends. But if I'm going to do a duet with Alice, I'm going to do an equal duet.
Yeah, that was Bob Ezrin. Bob Ezrin kind of takes control sometimes.
No, I like him very much. We get along fine. And he understood my point. He understood it totally. So we're fine. We're absolutely fine. I'm even looking at him to maybe do one track with me when I get my life story done. Anyway, let's keep on the album because I've only got about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, other standouts include, Get Out of Jail. I like the chain gang vocals, and that's probably the best lockdown. I guess I don't know if it's the subject of the lockdown, but it seems to be. That's probably the best lockdown song I've heard.
It kind of says it, doesn't it? We started to write it, and I was thinking about what lyrics to do and all that, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of lockdown, I said to my son, "Hey, no brainer, this is happening."
Does your son play on all the songs?
He's the guitar player, so he's very, very good. He's real riffy. He's riffy.
Does he live? You live in the UK?
Yeah, I've been here for a long time, but I am the girl from Detroit City in the UK.
Does your son live in the UK too?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in your band? No,
but maybe in the future. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. I didn't want him to come in the band and do the old stuff, so let's see what the future holds. This album is doing great. It debuted at 24 on the iTunes charts. It's number 44. First day out today. 44 on the 200 album charts in UK. So and everybody's loving it. So fingers crossed. And then if we have to tour this album, there's nobody else that would tour it but Richard.
You recorded this thing during the pandemic, right?
Written and recorded all during the pandemic.
Where was it recorded? Because UK has probably some of the strictest lockdown stuff of anybody in the world. So
yeah, they do. I have a studio at home that I, by coincidence, built before the lockdown started. So that was out there. Just a small one, though. And we were able to do very, very, very good demos out there. Enough for all the musicians to learn their parts. Then we went to Rack Studios in London and did 2 days drums and bass at opposite ends of the room. And then the third day we did keys. And then the fourth day we did horn section. Then we found another studio that had a big live room. We did vocals and backing vocals in that studio. And then my son did his guitar parts in the home studio. We even did the videos in my garage. Each person went in separately, you know. So we found our way around it, and it worked.
Other songs, standout songs. Do You Dance was a great bass groove on Do You Dance.
Yeah, that is, isn't it?
And also another really cool song with bass, really cool bass. You Can't Dream It is a good bass too. That seems like a hard one to sing and play.
No, that one's not hard. That's not hard to play and sing. That one is hard to play because you don't have any stop, and your arm. I'm fingers. I'm not pick, and it's da 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 da. I'm then waiting for one chord to go, so I can just let my hand off the strings for a second.
The reason
I was playing it. Oh my God, my hand is killing me.
The reason you play with fingers, is it because you hold the bass so low, or is it just the way you learned?
I do not like picked bass.
Okay.
I am not a failed guitar player. I am an organic bass player. I like the sound of the fingers on the strings.
Do you still have those BC Rich basses?
Yes, I do. They're up in my ego room. I have both. In fact, if you watch the video, which is available on YouTube, there's 3 videos available on YouTube. If you watch The Devil in Me, the title track, I use my red BC Rich.
Okay.
And it looks fantastic. Yeah, it looks great.
You also have a Mockingbird as well?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Pink one, yeah.
If you had to, what would be like the number one thing you would tell a bass player, like the most important lesson you can teach a bass player?
Right. That's a serious question. Listen to the track, find the bottom, and then be the glue that holds it all there.
Okay. A lot of bass players will just, well, you're the front person. This is kind of a stupid question, but a lot of bass players just stand there, but you work the stage pretty well.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I like that in bass players. That's some of my favorite bass players move around.
Well, I mean, I'm an up-front bass player. I'm also the front person. So, and really, it's not difficult only because I started to play bass, and at the same time, I was the lead singer too. So this is all I've ever done. I've been the bass player, up-front person for a whole 57 years. So it's not hard. I learned everything together.
I won't take up too much of your time, but I got a couple listener questions. Is that okay?
Sure.
A guy named Doug from Detroit wants to know: do you remember playing the Hideout in Harper Woods, Michigan?
Oh my God! Of course I remember that. That was our hangout. That was where we went, and that was the Pleasure Seekers' first ever gig. We played 3 songs. We knew 3 songs only, 3 chords, but we played there. Fantastic. I went there every Friday. That was a great place. Our first record was on the Hideout label, which was the owner of the Hideout.
He said everybody played there. The guy, it was owned by Bob Seger's agent, he said.
Dave Leone owned it. He's passed away quite a while now. And he also had the record label, the Hideout record label, and he was also a songwriter. And he put us on stage the very first time.
Iggy Pop played there, but he said Bob Seger played there.
Everybody played there. It was the place to play.
A listener named Kirk Crawford, friend of the show, said, anything you can talk about Cozy Powell when you were playing with Cozy Powell?
Right. This is a little, I won't make it too long, but when I was in the second wave of the all-girl band called Cradle, my little sister had been brought in, and I, for the first time, took a back seat, mainly playing bass, doing a few leads, but mainly bass. And that was about 18 months I was in that band. This is the band that Elektra Records saw. They turned the band down. They wanted me only, even though I was at the back. Mickey Most flew to Detroit from England, saw the band, didn't want the band, only wanted me. But Mickey Most had brought with him Cozy Powell and Jeff Beck to record at Motown Studios. So they were there when I got discovered, which is fantastic. And after the show, Mickey said, oh, come here. And he was talking to me and telling me how much he liked me, not the band, but me. And he said, we're just off to Motown. Do you want to come? I said, yeah, great. So I went there by myself with Mickey and Jeff Beck and Cozy Powell. And I went down to the pit at Motown. And I started to jam with the two of them to strut. So they don't. Now, not many people can tell you that story.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it. Do you have any non-musical hobbies?
Hobbies?
Like what's like a typical day for you if there's no music happening?
Okay, I get up and I do all my social media, which I do religiously because people live their day by it, so I try to communicate. Then lately it's been every day nonstop media for the album, of course, nonstop from like 9:30 till 10 o'clock at night. So that's every day. But if I've got a free-ish day, I'll go in the studio because we're writing for the next album now, or I will work on my next book, which will be book number 5, or I will go in and practice my bass. I play to my live CD, make sure I keep the moves together, and I go to the gym every day in the garage. So I keep fit, I keep my chops, and I keep myself occupied.
Well, Suzi Quatro, I'm a huge fan. I love you so much, and I'm sure everybody tells you that. But
but thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. What's the plans for the rest of the day?
Now I'm having dinner, and then I'm going to have a glass of champagne, and then I'm going to go, that's it.
What's for dinner?
I am making the only thing I can make, which is vegetable pasta.
Okay. Are you vegetarian?
No.
Okay.
I'm a sort of vegetarian until I feel like a steak.
Okay. Suzi Quatro, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with the album. I really like it.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, there you go, Suzi Quatro. I was hoping I would have more time, but when an artist is on a promo tour or doing press for the album, you take what you can get, my friends. So let's close out with something from Devil and Me. How about Motor City? Let's see if I want to play Motor City Riders. Yeah. All right, let's close out with something from the album since she's promoting the new album. How about Motor City Riders? Thank you for listening, friends. I guess this is a bonus episode since it's so short, but thank you for the support. rockandrollgeek.com is where you can find the show. Find me on the Facebook or on our Geek. Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Send Suzi Quatro a message since she's on social media every morning or whatever. Send her a Facebook message. Let her know you heard about her on the Rock and Roll Geek show. So maybe she'll come on and give me some more time when she's not in promo mode. Also, thank you for the donations. Please keep the donations coming because without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. I'm not drinking beer today because it's super early. So let me take a sip of this fine iced tea. Yeah, I'd rather have a beer, but it's too early. All right, here's Motor City Riders. We will talk to you soon, friends. Have a great day.
Motor City died in a freedom fight underneath the fires on a restless night. Oh yeah, set the sky alight. Black and white and blues down a dead end street. Cocktails hitting shoes in between the beat. Oh yeah, we can feel the heat. Oh yeah, we can feel the heat. Woo! Oh yeah. the shops, pulling down the shades, living downtown with those renegades. Oh yeah, flick those blades. Woo. Prisoners of war in this vacant zone, rich and poor in tune in the strange unknown. Oh yeah, covers blow. Woo. Oh yeah, covers blow. Motor City Riders, invincible survivors, taking every fighter to the wall. Motor City Riders, unshakable survivors, knocking down dividers, standing tall. Motor City Riders, invincible survivors. Motor City, Motor City, yeah, yeah. Motor City Riders, invincible survivors. That's a Motor City, baby. That's a Motor City. Motor City Riders, invincible survivors, taking every fighter to the wall. Motor City Riders, unshakable survivors, knocking down dividers, standing tall. Yeah, the Motor City Rider. Ow!
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.